Hello and welcome back to part 8 of the English Bull Terrier coloured pencil tutorial. I hope that you're all doing really well, and like I always say, everything you need to know is down below, including part 1 if you've just stumbled upon this video now. So without further ado, let's just get started. Okay, so like I said last time, we're doing the nose in this video, and I'm going to start with some dark sepia just to put some guidelines in, like in the nostrils and stuff. So 175, and I'm just gonna start adding that nostril in there. It actually comes round like that. I've missed that bit off the outline. Just lightly for now. Starting to add these guidelines in, just makes it a bit easier for us. I'm going to try and speed up a little bit because I feel like we've not done that much to say we're on part 8 already. But I'm not going to rush it, just going to work at my own pace. And let's see, I might add the tiniest little bit to this top bit, like barely touching the paper, just so that when I rub the outlines out I can see that a little bit. And there's like a little line that comes down there, and I'll do the same just around here. They have got really like unique noses too, they're very patchy a lot of the time. They have all these little like patches and stuff. There we go. And I might just add a little bit here where this little patch on his nose is. Very recognisable feature on Paddy, that little dot on his nose. And I'm just going to bring it down here a bit. And here. I'm just going to finish that nostril off there. Okay, that will do for now. And then I'm going to use the eraser and just get rid of any of the pencil outline, just to get that nice and clean, ready for the base colour. So I'm looking at it and I feel like it's a lot cooler on the top of the nose where the light hits it, like here, and then it's more like warm as you come underneath it. So I'm going to use the cold grey one for the top bit and warm grey one for the bottom bit. But starting with the cold grey one to begin with, so 230. And I'm just going to blend that in. And I'll probably bring it down to about here. I'm going to bring it right up to the top of these little patchy bits. Bring it down a bit more here. Maybe just over that whole top bit, and then I'll blend the warm grey one into the bottom. So warm grey one, 270. Blend that down the rest. Make sure it's nice and smooth. And I might just go back to that dark sepia 175. And I'm just going to darken up this little nostril. Just going to go straight in. Just darken it all up. You have to just keep working it in because it will go a little bit grainy to begin with. And then I'm just going to add a little bit more around the edge. I'm just going to blend it out a little bit. And I'll just do this a bit darker, just like darkening the guidelines up a little bit. Being very soft. There's a little line just down here too that I'm just going to softly map in. Little one here. Little one there. Just want to get some of these details in now, and then at least they're in. A little bit here. And a little bit there. And then I'm going to use the dark grey from the Pablos to begin with, get that cooler tone in, and I'm going to start from the top. So I just start adding that little bit more texture. Just going to softly blend it in. So I'm just doing like little swirly motions with the pencil. I don't want it to be like perfectly smooth. Just trying to get that slightly more skin texture look to it. A bit here. It's hard to see exactly what colour it is because it's such a mixture of like warm and cool colours. So I'm just going to build it really slow. I'm going to do some little swirly motions in here. So coming in from the edge, blending it inwards. And add a little bit around here. Gradually coming in. There is quite like a strong highlight around here, so I'm going to try and leave that a little bit lighter. Blend it down here a bit. A little bit around here. A little bit more here. Right, that'll do for the first kind of layer. I'm going to go in with the Cocoa now from the Pablos, and I'm going to start to sort of blend that into it, get more of the warm purpley tone. It's very much like a combination of the two colours. I'm going to start blending that in from the edge. Just going to concentrate on this top bit of the nose first, then I'm going to move down to the bottom bit. So many tractors going past today. We've been cutting the grass for the cows, so they keep going past. Lots of little swirly marks. Just pressing lightly for now. I can always go back in with another layer after and press a bit darker. A bit harder. Go up on this side. A little bit on the top. Again, I'm doing it sort of like in like little patchy textured areas. I'm not doing it like perfectly smooth. And there's like a little bit of a line that sort of comes across here where the actual nose starts. That's more just like a little patch that he has above his nose. And then this is like his actual nose. Add a bit more there. Let's add a little bit more in there. Doing very like squiggly little movements with the pencil. Bringing it in, making sure I'm keeping that highlight nice and light. Okay, and then I think I might start to bring that down. Blend it down a bit into that bottom bit of the nose as it is more warm toned, so just going straight in with that. I'll probably need some browns and stuff in there after, but for now I'll just start with this. It's easy enough to blend more colours in. It's going to look very strange until I've added some more dark colours. Let's do another little bit at the top. Just to blend it in a little bit more. Okay. Then I think I might go in with a bit of Payne's Grey at the top. So 181, and I just want to start to darken it up a bit with that slightly more blue tone. I think it does need a little bit more. A bit more around here. I feel like I need a bit more of like a darker sort of line here. Not a perfect line, just like a squiggly kind of line. I even do some little bits just to like break it up a bit. Blend a bit more around here. A little bit more. It's mostly around this right hand side here where I can see more that dark bluey grey colour. Okie dokie. Then I'm going to add a bit of Nougat 178 just into this bit down here. Let's blend it in. Get a bit more of that brown tone. Sort of from the way the light's hitting it. Gives it that warmer glow on the bottom. And around here. Just blend it all in. I'm going to blend it up into this top bit a tiny bit. Okay, and then I think we need more dark sepia, 175. And I'm just going to darken up this little bit again. And this little bit. And I'm going to start to blend this into that nose and start to like get a bit more shape to it. So again, just lots of little squiggly, circly marks with the pencil, swirling it around. Trying to multitask today, so I'm filming some clips for a reel on my phone for Instagram, and then I'm filming this, and it's I keep having to like turn the lights out for the reel because for some reason if I've got my studio lights on and I film with my phone it flickers. So I get a really horrible flickering look in the video. So I keep having to turn the lights off to do my reel, sort of pretend that I'm drawing so that I don't like go too far and like end up with no footage for like each and every bit of this video, if that makes sense. So like, it's a multitasking kind of situation, but I'm trying to get back into Instagram Reels. I sort of went off doing them for a bit because they were taking up a lot of time. So I just sort of gave up, and now I feel like I need to get back into them because Instagram obviously favour the Reels and stuff, so trying to have fun with it. I've been using CapCut, and that has made it so much easier. I'm just adding some like little textured areas around here. But yeah, I hated using the Instagram's like in-app reel editing program, whatever you want to call it. I hated it. I found it really hard work. It always crashed on me. I always lost what I was doing, so I'm enjoying using CapCut now. It's a much better way of doing it. Just trying to create this texture, these little like lines and stuff. Very subtly, I don't want them to be like too crazy. Like little lines coming down here. And I'm gonna add some of this on this left hand side. Like a little darker bit there. Then I'm just gonna blend in the rest. So I'm just trying to gradually build up these values to get a bit more of a 3D shape to the nose, but also like keep that texture at the same time. So doing all these little squiggly shapes helps. Sometimes you can make them look a bit more obvious, and you get a bit more of like a stronger texture. All these little bumpy bits of skin that you can see. Just trying to create that look. And I'm just going to add a little bit here. Like I've missed a bit there. And then I'm going to start to blend down the bottom of the nose, and this is where it starts to get darker. So just go down this middle bit again. Sort of start to blend a bit of this out. I think we need more of a vibrant colour there. We'll have a look at that afterwards. Maybe a bit of burnt sienna or something. A bit more red toned. Then I'm going to start to blend out from the nostril, so definitely want to darken it up and like push that area back a little bit. I'm just going to keep layering it up. This bit's very dark and shadowy. blend a bit more around here. A little bit more here. Just want to blend it out so it sort of gradually gets a bit lighter as you come down here. Apply a bit more pressure now and just try and darken this area up a tad. I think we probably need a bit of black though to make that as dark as I want it to be. A bit more there. And just going to add a bit more around here. Okay, we're getting there. It still looks a bit flat and a bit lightning, but we'll add some more colours. I think I'm going to use a bit of black to begin with, then at least it's like as dark as we need it to be. So 199, darken up this nostril, and instantly that just makes such a difference. And around here. Just pushes those areas right back, gives it the depth that you need. Add a little bit down this bit, just blend it down. Bit more down here. And just blend a bit more down here. Sort of like a downwards motion. Okay, and then I definitely need a bit more of like a brighter turquoise colour, just like we did sort of in the eyes and stuff. I'm going to add light cobalt turquoise 154. Just needs a bit more colour, it looks a bit flat. So I'm just going to blend this in around here. Just give it a bit more life. Not too hard. That's instantly just given like a bit of a sheen to the nose. Blend it in a bit more. Okay, and then I'm going to try a bit of burnt sienna 283. Might be a bit much, but I'm just going to add a little bit where it's like got that warm colour at the bottom. Just really softly blend it in. A little bit on this side. A little bit more down here. And I might just add a little bit more Nougat 178 just in here. Blend it down. Get a bit more of a brown tone. More up here. So all these different tones that are mixed in, that helps to bring the nose to life a bit more. Add a bit more coming up here. And then I might blend a bit more cocoa in. I feel like we just need that slightly purple grey tone. Just a little bit stronger. Just blending it in. Just gonna make that line a little bit more crisp. Blend this in. A little bit more through that highlighted area. And a little bit more down here. And then I'm going to go back to the dark sepia 175, and again just going to darken that up a little bit more. Just applying a little bit more pressure. Oh, I got like a really dark bit there. Just going to try and pick that out. It's better. Bit more around here. Darken up some of these lines. Add a little bit more in this general area. Big yawn. Or whatever that was. Deep breath. I'm going to do like bigger swirls, get a bit more texture. Darken up this bit here. And then I might just use a little bit of white on the edge just to try and like lighten it up a little bit. So I'm going to use the Chinese white from Derwent Drawing. And literally I just want to sort of soften up that edge. And it goes quite like a muted sort of tone once you do that, and that's the sort of look I'm going for, so I don't mind burnishing it out and lightening it up when I'm not trying to go for like a bright colour. Never seen so many tractors go past. A bit more down here. Might even try and do a few little bits through the middle. Just makes it the sort of perfect muted purple tone. Maybe a bit more around here. It's like the perfect colour that I wanted. Makes it nice and soft as well. Not pressing hard with it, I'm just using it as like a tool to just blend. I add a little bit here. A little bit here. A bit here. Okay, and then I feel like I want to start on the area around the nose, and then I can sort of see how much more I need to do in the nose itself. Okay, I'm going to add a bit of dark sepia again, so 175, and I just want to do a few more little wrinkly bits. So I'm pressing a little bit harder just to get quite a precise sort of line. And I'm just drawing a little bit of texture in. Some of these like little wrinkly lines and stuff. There's like one there. And I'm just going to darken that line up again a little bit more. So that comes down here a bit. And up there. A few little bits around here. Right, I think I want to start now on the area around the nose, just so that I can see how that looks, and then do a bit more on the nose itself if I need to. It's very like pink, and he has a lot of like muck on the area up here. It goes a bit like of a funny sandy colour, and that's just because he's always sticking his nose in like the mud and stuff, and we can never get it white, we can never get it like looking clean. So I don't know how much of that I'm going to actually draw in. Obviously it is what he looks like, so I want it to look like him, but You don't always have to do everything as like intense as it looks in the picture. But yeah, I think what I might do is, like we did for the ear, I'm going to do a layer of white to begin with, because if you look really close, there's loads of teeny tiny little white hairs, and I want to be able to get them with the slice tool afterwards, and the only way that I will is if the base is lighter than the colour around it. So I'm definitely going to add some white to start with. Just going to dab the area around it a bit. So back to the Chinese white from Derwent Drawing. Just going to use that to apply a white base. Just smooth that grain out a little bit. You won't be able to see it at all on camera, but if you just like tilt your head and look downwards, you can see it on your drawing. I'm going to bring it around here. It'll just make it so much easier for adding little fur details in afterwards. Well, I'm hoping so. This paper isn't the best with the slice tool, but if you've managed to get the layers right, then it works alright. And just going to add a little bit around here. Right, that'll do for now. Maybe I'll just bring it up here a little bit. Then I'm going to start with the beige red 132 or light flesh, and I'm just going to start to layer that into that white. So it goes on quite light anyway because it has got the white underneath it. Just want it to be nice and smooth. Just bringing it down in the direction that all these little hairs go in. If you don't have a slice tool or a craft knife or anything, obviously you'll have to just add some hairs in by going around them a little bit, but I really do recommend getting one if you can, because it's really useful for bits like this. I mean, I suppose could you use something else that's sharp, like a needle? I don't know, maybe you could, or just like a small knife. Have a play around anyway, obviously be careful, but I'm sure you could find something else to use if you were stuck. Just going to bring some here. I'm going to start to shade it in a bit more, try and get a bit more colour. It does make it a little bit harder to get like a dark colour because you've already sort of killed that paper off with the white. You can't really go too dark with it or anything, but in a way sometimes that's helpful because it stops you from going too dark on an area that you don't want to. A bit more here. Bring it round here. It's quicker just to blend it in like this, I think. Try not to go into the bit where There's no white. Okay, that'll do for now. Could always even smooth that out a bit more with the white in places, but I'm going to leave it for now. Then I think we need a darker pink in there, so let's have a look. I'm going to use a little bit of medium flesh 131. I don't know if it's still called that anymore. 131 anyway, whatever it's called now. Because it's a little bit brighter than the ear, so I want it to be more of like a bright pink. So I'm just going to start to layer that on top to the area closest to the nose. Start to darken it up a bit. Create that bright pink colour. I'm just going over and over it to blend it nicely. Just bring it up here. Some little strokes down here. It does have a very pink nose. Some little bits to blend it up here. Don't want to add too much because it's like not bright all over, it's just sort of this area that's near the nose. And a little bit up here. Add some tiny bits. Here. He has loads of really short white hairs around his muzzle. A bit more around here. A little bit more around here. And a bit more down there. I'm just going to add along that left side of the nose there. Get rid of those whiskers a bit. I'm going to add some more of that white just along that very left bit of the nose where you can see a little bit of the skin, and then a bit of the beige red or light flesh 132. Just going to add that over. A little bit of the medium flesh 131. Just to make it stand out a little bit more. And then I think I might start with the brownish orange from the Pablos again, that one that we used for the ears. And I'm going to start to add a bit more of that sort of like dusky pink colour in now to create more of a shadow. So I'm just lightly layering it up around here. Do you see how that's just starting to create that sort of shadow a little bit more? Be very careful with this. You want it to look like really soft and almost like velvety, so it just takes lots and lots of little strokes. I even add a little bit of that into the nose. That's better. That's added the sort of tone that I wanted. I feel like we need a bit more of the beige red 132. Just blend it around here a bit. Bit more around here. Bit more of the medium flesh 131. Gonna blend it up here a bit. Bit more there. I haven't added that little patch there yet either. And I actually want to just add a little bit more cocoa. Just here. Just like a little gap that I've missed. A little bit here. And a little bit of nougat 178, just to add a bit more of that brown tone. And a bit more dark sepia 175. Just want to sort of create a bit more of an edge to the nose. Still soft, I just want that slight bit more definition. Just going to blend it in a bit. A little bit more up here. And a little bit more down here. And I'm going to go back to the brownish orange and just start to blend this along here a bit more. It's like the perfect colour for this. A little bit up here. little bit up here. And I'm just going to bring a little bit more down, kind of like little strokes, just try and create a little bit of texture. And I'm going to do some up here. Trying to follow the direction of all the little hairs just so it looks like it's natural. Do some over here. I need to figure out what colour to use for the like sandy area. I might use some brown ochre 10% from the Luminance range. I use this colour a lot, so definitely recommend getting that. If you don't have that but just want to carry on, maybe try like a bit of ivory and then a little bit of nougat mixed in, but I'm going to go in with this brown ochre 10%. And I'm just going to start to do some little hairs with that. Building up that like sandy colour. Gonna do a bit up here. Maybe I'll just do it like the picture, because it just has a dirty nose, it is what it is. We can never get it clean, and he doesn't like us like trying to clean it too much. It's just what having a white dog is like. Well, he doesn't have a lot of white on him, but a white muzzle. So I'm just blending that out from the pink. And get down here a bit. The good thing with Luminance colours is that they do just blend in so smooth and creamy, because they are a wax-based pencil. Well, the Pablos are too, I think. But I did do a whole video on coloured pencils and what they're made of. I'm sure the Pablos are wax too, but these are just really creamy compared to the Polychromos and the Pablos. Yeah, just getting that colour in. I might even start to bring the pink area down here to the edge. So I'm just going to rub those lines out a little bit there to bring that white down. So Chinese white, Derwent Drawing. Let's bring that down. A bit of beige red, 132. Bring that to the edge. Then a bit of the medium flesh, 131. Bring that right to the edge as well. Oh, just need to switch my battery over. That means we've been filming for quite a while. There we go, and I'm going to use the brownish orange from the Pablos. Just going to start adding a little bit here. Just sort of like coming down from that dark line. Just blend that out. And I'll add a bit more down here. Then for these like little hairs that are coming off the edge, I'm trying to decide which colour to use. I might try the brownish orange and see how that looks. Just finish off this bit. Add a little bit there. Let's have a try. Just do one here. So I'm just going to do a little light hair. Because I want it to have like the same tone as the area that I'm drawing. Just crossing them all over. Some little ones. Just trying to follow the picture really. I feel like maybe they need to be a little bit darker. Let's try a bit of Burnt Umber 280. Hoping this is going to look right. Darken them up a little bit at the root. Then I might just use the eraser just to like soften them up a tiny bit. Okay, that'll do for now. Then I'm going to go back to the brownish orange. Just carry on adding a little bit more to darken this area up because I want to add some little sliced tulle hairs in and see how they look. So just going to apply a little bit more around here. I really want to smooth it out. little bit more at the top. And I might just add a little bit of like a defined edge to the bottom, just to make it a bit crisper. Just blend a little bit in. That's better. Don't always like to add too much of a defined edge, but it depends like what bit I'm working on and how it's looking. I might add a little bit more of an edge to this bit here, just like a bit of a broken edge. Blend a little bit. That's better. Then I think I'm going to go in with some of the slice tool hairs now and see how it looks. So I've got my manual pen cutter and I'm just going to start from inside the nose here. There's like a little hair that comes out. That one's very wobbly. If you just like turn the top of it, I think it's gone very dark. If you like turn it like that, you can lock it into place. So just add a little bit there. It isn't the best with the slice tool, to be honest, this paper. I'm just going to add some, a bit easier around here. Little hairs. Some longer ones. Bring them down here. And I'm going to go back in with the brownish orange just to sort of define some of those hairs a little bit more. Let's go around them a tiny bit. It does work a lot better on the Strathmore Bristol vellum paper, the slice tool. So I think I might start using that for tutorials from the next one onwards. Just because it does take that slice tool better. A bit like the old Fabriano used to. And I might just do a few more little bits up here. And I need to do that little patch there, so I'm going to use the warm grey one, 270, just add that in, bit of the cocoa, blend that in. And a bit of dark sepia 175. Just going to add some little bits of that on the outside. Blend a bit in there. And I might just add a little bit under those hairs that I made, just to make them a bit more obvious. Make them stand out a tad more. And I'm going to add a bit of the warm grey one again, so 270, just into that little little spot there that I've missed. And I'm going to add a bit of the Coco again. It's hard to tell what colour it is, but I think that'd work. Yeah, that's nice. Let's do some little strokes just to build it up. Might add a little bit more here. Just trying to make a bit more of like a wobbly shape on the edge of that patch at the top. That makes sense, trying to make it a bit less smooth, a bit more imperfect. I'm going to add a bit more black, 199. I feel like it needs to be a bit darker around here. I think I might even need a bit of the Derwent Drawing Ivory black just to darken it up a bit more. Might even add a bit of black here. Let's add a little bit of ivory black from Derwent Drawing just to really darken up that nostril. And this bit. Blend it out a little bit. And I'm going to add some dark sepia 175 into this little patch. Just really softly. There we go. And then I might just bring the fur out a little bit more around the outside of the nose. So I'm just going to very softly dab it with the eraser. And I don't want to lose where these little like lines are, so I might just use the brownish orange just to really faintly map in where they are. Because they can look really off if you get them in the wrong place. Just little dots and squiggles just so that I can see exactly where they are. Do a little hair there. And there's two more around there. On there. And then I'm going to use the white, just bring that out even more. Press in like relatively firmly for this. Just so I can get it nice and smooth so that the slice tool will work. I might just bring it right to that top bit. And the edge of the face there. I don't usually do white all over the white areas, but it's just for the sake of making it smooth. Then I'm going to go back in with the beige red 132 and just start to blend that in a bit. Bringing it down to the bottom. Just trying to blend it out a bit. Gonna add a bit more up here. And then I'm going to add some of the brown ochre at 10%, 832 from the Luminance range. Start to blend that in a little bit. Just where it's got that slightly sandy colour. So up here, I managed to like scratch the paper a little bit. And I'm going to use a bit more of the medium flesh 131 and just sort of blend this through a bit. And a bit round here. Around here. Trying to make sure I'm following the fur direction. It sort of goes in all sorts of directions. And I'll use a bit of the brownish orange, and I'm just going to add a bit more around here. Just start to bring that out a bit. Trying to create that fur texture a little bit. Do some little like strokes. They're a bit more visible. I suppose I probably didn't need to use a slice tool, just draw them in. Just to give you another option. And at least then if you do want to re-add stuff back in afterwards, you can. Some round here. Gonna add a bit to that edge again to darken it up. Some bits around here. To be fair, the white does like make it nice and smooth anyway. Makes it a bit easier to work on top of. A bit around here. Get a little bit more texture. A little bit more up here. It's starting to come together now a bit more though. Start like building it up a bit more around here. And I'm going to add some cocoa, just where there's like a bit of a patch here. Start to map that in a little bit. I'll just add a little bit more to this bit. Then I might just use a little bit of burnt umber 280, just ever so slightly, to darken up this like bit near the nose. Don't want it to go like too pigmented and brown, it's just to create a bit more of a shadow. It's very similar sort of colours to the ear, just that little bit of a brighter pink, so it makes sense to use the same sort of colours. That's nice. maybe a little bit up here. So I'm very light with this. More around here. This really helps to add those like darker areas in. I might just bring the white to the edge there. Just don't like leaving like little gaps like that, I'd rather just fill it in. Then the beige red 132. Then a bit of the medium flesh 131. Then a little bit of the brownish orange. Just to add that hair in. Then that little bit more cocoa to darken up that little patchy bit. And a little bit of burnt, then a little bit of dark sepia 175. Darken it up a tad. A little bit more burnt umber 280. Just want to darken up this bit a tad more. And a little bit round here. And I might just add a few more little whiskers with the brownish orange just at the bottom. Bit more burnt umber 280 just on those roots. And I might just use the slice tool just to add a few more little light hairs in. And I think I might be tempted to leave it there for now. I feel like we've done quite a bit in that video, and yeah, I'm happy with the progress. I think next time we will continue on this sort of like bit in the middle, match it all up, bring it together, and then we'll be moving on to the body and stuff. So yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed this part with me. Make sure to give this video a like if you did, as it helps me out so much. Subscribe to see more videos like this, and I shall see you in the next one. So bye for now.